Hello, everyone. Welcome back. I hope you all are doing well, and I hope you did well in your exams as well. Inshallah, you get good grades. So, in this video, we will go over Lab 7, which is basically about scripting. We're getting, the beginner introduction of scripting in this unit. There are three questions, fairly straightforward, and we wouldn't take a lot of time working on this because it's too short. There's one thing in this lab, the optional part of this lab is not required. I was told that you don't have access to the files that are required to do this task. So just skip that. Just focus on the three questions that are there in the lab itself. So we'll start with the first question. It asks you to create a text file called disk usage that contains the following: the disk usage of your home directory, and it should sort the output of the disk usage in reverse order. So if you don't know already what disk usage, what command to use for disk usage, you can just use man du. Du, like the hint that they've given you here, is the command that we use for disk usage to see the disk usage information. So here you have all of these arguments that you can use uh, along with this command. Now we will use the one that's called -h. You can even add -c, sorry, you can even add -c here to get the total of the disk usage. That's up to you. I will just use -h here. So why am I using -h? Because to make it human readable like it says here. So the information that will be printed will be very, what's it called? It will be very easy to read. Okay, so I will quit from here, and then the first command that you need to write is du minus either ch or just h. Up to you. Ch will, with c it will just print the total as well. So ch or c, and then of your home directory. Home directory is represented by the wave symbol, right? So that symbol with a bracket, with a slash or without, it's up to you. But like du minus h, and that wave symbol is the answer for that part. The next thing is you need to sort the output. So the output from this command, if you want to view it, you can view it as well. The output from this command should give you all of this. This should be the output, right? So this output, you need to sort it based on the numbers. These numbers that we see here, you need to sort the output so that the number, so it's sorted based on the numbers. Now, that sorting should be in reverse order. We know, from the previous exercises, you know that to sort it in reverse order, you would just use -r. But in this case, you're sorting based on numbers and not alphabets, right? So for that, you need to go, for example, you need to go to man sort, and you will see that it has an argument -n, which is numeric sort, which means nothing but it sorts based on the number. It considers numbers for sorting. So that is what we will use in this case. So the same command, but put a pipe so that you can add the next command, sort, to it. So sort -nr, n for numeric and r for reverse. All of this, the what's it called? The output from all of this should be sent to a file called disk underscore usage .txt. You can put txt if you want to. I'm putting it there because it says you need to create a text file. But if you don't want to use the txt, that's also fine. It will work the same way. Doesn't have any effect. So I will do that. And if you want to view what is there in your file, you can just do more disk usage, and it will show you everything that is saved in the file. So we're done with the first question. The second question is you need to use the df command. Oh, sorry, the df command displays the amount of available disk space for the file systems. So you're supposed to create a file called diskfree_info. Again, if you want to put .txt after it, you can. If you don't want to, you don't have to. There's no hard and fast rule here. So you create that file, and that file should contain the output of the df command in human readable format. Now, if you don't know how to use that command, again, you can write man df, and then it will show you how to use that command. And similar to du, you have the -h, which prints in human readable form. So the same command df, but with the same -h. That command, the output of that command, you need to send it to disk_free_info. Okay. The next one here, it says create another file called CPU_info that contains any information on the CPU of the system. So CPU, the command for this is basically ls CPU. Okay. ls CPU gives you the information on the CPU. Okay. So that the output from that should be sent to a file called CPU_info. So you'll run the same command, ls CPU, send it to CPU_info. Okay, you can put .txt, up to you. The next thing is you need to add the two files above to a compressed tar file called lab7_q2.tar.gz. So basically you need to use gzip for compression, and then create the tar file. Now let's say you forget how to use the tar command. You don't know what exactly to use. So you need to remember that usually when you create a tar file, you use the word tar, then you write CVF. CVF has to be there, okay? C means create, V is verbose, and then F is for file name. Basically, take the file name that I am providing you. Like in the command, whatever file name you're providing will be taken as the name of the tar file. But for example, here we need to use the gzip, right? And let's say you forget how to use gzip. So what you can do is go to the manual, man tar, and just scroll, and you will see -z or just z will create the gzip file, and if you use j, it will create bzip too. So you can get this information here. For example, V stands for verbose, F stands for file name, and then you have C as well, which is I think up. Yeah, C stands for create. Oh my God. Oh, C stands for create. So you don't have to memorize it, but it's good to know. So, but in case you forget, you can go to the tar command and see which one to pick. Okay. And then this will be the command. So tar C CZVF. So create and then zip, Z for gzip, and then VF verbose to print what was added. So basically, once the file is created, just print the content of the file, and then F is for file name. So that is done. The file name here they've provided us is basically lab7_q2.tar.gz. And the two files that you need to include here are disk free info and CPU info. Okay. And see, this part is the verbose. It's printing for you what was added to the file. Okay. So we're done with question 2. For question 3, you are a system administrator, and as part of your job, you need to email details on the system to various people at different times. Create a script called sysinfo.sh. So the first thing you would do is vi sys_info.sh. That's how you create the script. That's your first point. You can maybe write it down as points. There are basically 5 points or 5 steps you need to follow to create a script. The first one is you use vi and then the name of the script .sh. That's the first thing. Oh no. Oh, this was from practice, but I will create it again. Okay? Or let's just remove everything from here. So basically I will show it to you again. But I think I've done this before, so that's why it's there. Anyway, so basically that the first step is vi and then the name of your script .sh. That's the first step. The second step is you have to add hash exclamation slash bin slash bash. Write it 10 times on a piece of paper and you would have memorized it by then. This is important. If you don't add this, apparently it doesn't work, but it does work without it. But just for now, for this course, just assume that it doesn't work without that line. So you have to memorize that line. Hash exclamation slash bin slash bash. So you're using bash shell, right? Sorry, it's a tongue twister. Anyway, you're using the shell, which is called bash. Now, by writing this, uh, you're telling the whatever the system that the bash shell is present in the bin folder. You're giving it the path of where the shell is present. Okay. So after this line, you will keep getting the hash on every other line. Like if you keep pressing enter, you still have hash. I don't know if it's visible. Let me change the size. So change settings, appearance. Okay, better. So you every time you press enter, you will get a hash symbol. Just remove it on the second line. You don't need that symbol. So after that's the second point. The first point is vi create the script. The second point is add that line hash exclamation bin bash. The third is you write your command. You write your commands. What commands are required for the script? You write it. Your script will be run sequentially, meaning one line at a time. So it will run the first line. So here, for example, if I write something and something and something, this line will be run first, and then the second one, and then the third one. So it is sequential. Okay. Now here, the first command that they want you to execute is that the date and time of this script was run. So basically, the command date gives you the current timestamp, meaning the time that is at the moment, what is the date and time, it will display that for you. And when it's running the script, if you use the command date, it will give you the time of at that the timestamp at that given moment, right? So that's why if you want to display the date and time, you can just use the command date and send it to a temporary file. Okay, or you can name it whatever you want. It doesn't need to have an extension. If you want to put an extension, you can put an extension. No worries. If you don't want to, you don't have to. Unless they tell you to use an extension, uh, you don't have to. But for scripts, you have to use the .sh extension. Just to make your life easier, you have to, but you don't need to. If you want to write scripts without .sh, it's fine. It's just that you will not see it in different colors, and it will be difficult for you to read and write code in it. So the first command would be date and temp. So it will take whatever the output is from date and it will add it to a file called temp. Okay. The next one is basically you name. Okay, basically, let me show it to you um, without without the file. So for example, if I run date, it is showing me the current timestamp. So what is the time at the moment? The next one that they want you to run, the next command that they want you to run is basically full details on the name of the system. So you can look up uname. Okay, so uname, so we don't know the command, so we'll just use man uname. And if you see -a, that is the argument that will print everything. It will print all the information. And that's what they want, the full detail, right? So you quit from here, and if you write uname -a, it will show you all the details. Okay, that's the command for B. I'm just showing you the commands before I write it in the script so you know how they run basically. So the next one is disk-free information. This is what we just did in human readable form. So df -h, it will give you the space that is available basically. And then information about the CPU, which is ls CPU. We've also done this before, ls CPU. It gives you information about the CPU. Now, all of this information, if I want to email it to someone, the first thing I need to do is put it in a file. Okay. So, for example, if you do date, but add it to temp here, and then you read from temp, let's say cat temp, you can see that this file has this information, right? The next time you name -a, the next command, if I do it like this with only one bracket, it will overwrite what was there in temp already. So if I do it this way, and if I write cat temp, now the date is gone. It's only showing me the output from uname. So what you have to do is date first, and then uname second, but append. Okay. Now if you see cat temp, you can see it has the date, and then it has the information, full details of the system. Okay. So similarly, if you do df -h, append it temp, and do more temp, you can use whatever command you want. You can see now it has the date. In the temp file, the first thing is date, the second thing is information of the system, and the third thing is the free space. And the last one is lscpu temp and more temp, and you will see now it also has information on the CPU. So what you can do at the end is just take this file and send it to the email address that the user is providing. So I will just quit and then go back to my file. Where is the file? Okay, this one. Now here, uname -a temp, appended to temp. The next one was df -h, appended to temp, and then ls CPU appended to temp. Okay. Then you need to mail it. You need to mail the information, the data that is saved in the file, the outputs. You need to email it to the person, uh, to the email that was given to you by the script, which we will look at in a minute. But the mail is something like this: mail command -s for the subject. They said the subject should be lab 7, right? So lab 7 will be the subject, and then you need to present, sorry, then you need to add the email address, which for the email address I will just write $1, and that means take the first argument from the line in which you basically run the file or run the script, and I will show that to you in a minute. But $1 is the first argument sent to the script or passed to the script. Okay, now after this, you need to input the temp file. Okay, so whatever output was added to the temp file will now be used to send the email. And in the email, you will see all the information that is stored in the file temp. Now, in the question, they also say any files created during the script run should be deleted afterwards. So we've created a file called temp, right? After the script is like after whatever the script needs to do is over, you need to remove the temp file. Okay, so how will this work? When the script is run, this thing will run first, then then the second line will run, then the third, then fourth, and then fifth, and then sixth. Like it goes sequentially. Okay, now we're done with this. We escape, we write :WQ to save it. So the first thing was VI script name. The second thing was adding the line hash exclamation bin bash. The third is you write your commands. The fourth one is you need to change the permission. So chmod u plus x, meaning for the owner or for the owner, add the execute permission, because you cannot run a script without adding execute permission. So u plus x will give execute permission to the file, and then you need to mention the file name, this info.sh. This will change the file. It will make it green, basically. Where is it? Yeah, so it will become green in color, and that means it is a script and you can execute it. Okay, so that's the fourth step. You change the permission. You add the execute permission if it's not already added. And then to run the script, you need to write dot slash the name of the file sysinfo.sh. Now here you need to pass the email address. So basically I will pass my own email address. Let's say okay. Now at this point I should receive an email. I don't have my email open here, but if you do it, if you want to try this, you can send the email to yourself to see if you will receive the email, but you will. But here, what I wanted to point out is this is the command to basically run the script. Okay, this part of the command, the one that I've just highlighted, is considered $0. Okay, the first part, the first thing on the line which is used to run the script is considered $0, which is nothing but the file name, right? If you print $0 from the script, you will get the file name, which means if this is $0, then this is basically $1, right? This one is $1. So the first argument, if you want to fetch the first argument from the command to run the script, you need to use $1. How can I show it to you? Let's show it like this. So for example, this $1 here is basically this part. If you try to echo $0, it will echo the name of the file. If you try to echo $1, it will show you the, what's it called, the first argument. Okay, these are called argument. So basically you're sending some information or sending some data to the script, and the script is taking that data and doing something with it. So in this case, it's taking the email address and it's using it for the mail command. So I think that is it for the third question. You don't need to do the optional one. I don't know if I mentioned it in the beginning. You just don't need to do the optional one. I was told that you don't have the permissions to access some of the files here, so it's best to not do it. So just skip that part. And to submit this what's it called, this lab, you need to zip the following files. Now tarball, it says the following files should be combined into one zipped tarball. Tarball is nothing but tar. So basically you just create an archive which is gz, which is using gzip. compression. Okay, so you would write it this way. Tar, we've done this before, so tar CZVF, for Z is for gzip, and then the name is lab 7 full.tar.gz, and the files that you need to include. The first one is disk usage.txt, the second one is lab 7 q2 tar gzip, and then the third one is sysinfo. You add all of those, then you go to psftp, and then you download the file, the file lab 7 full tar gz. Okay, so I think that's it for this video. If you have any questions, you can email me. And yeah, this is what is there for this lab. We will continue more scripting topics in the upcoming classes, and I hope it is fun for you, because it is the best thing I know, which is programming. So yeah, enjoy, have a good day. If you need any help, let me know. And yeah, see you. Take care. Bye bye.